All right, so today we're going to start by doing 3B. We will go through some of these problems together. I'll have you finish them on your own. And our goal will try to be to get 3B done before lunch, but we also will have time afterwards. So let's review here with our solving of equations. As I had mentioned a little earlier today, our goal is to get the variable alone, isolate it. So in example 1, we have 3x minus 1 equals 20. I want to get the x alone, but there's a 3 and the minus 1. What should I get rid of first? Who can tell me? Victoria? The 1, exactly. Okay, we're going to undo our normal rules of order of operations. So we get rid of the subtraction first. So we are going to add 1 to get rid of it. And if I add it to the left-hand side, remember sometimes I put a little imaginary dotted line on my equals, I have to add it to the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, those ones will cancel, so I'm left with 3x equals, and on the right-hand side, 20 plus 1 is 21. Now what should I do to get x alone?
You have to divide.
Divide, exactly. We are currently multiplying. It says 3 times x. So to undo multiplication, we use division. So I will divide by 3. And if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other. Those 3's will then cancel, and we're left with x equals 21 divided by 3, which is 7. Now I'm going to do the check. Remember, for your check, that's where we plug our answer in. So it said 3x. Well, we said x is 7. So I'm going to do 3 times 7, and then minus 1 equals 20. And I'm going to simplify that left-hand side. So 3 times 7 is 21. Then 21 minus 1 is 20. So am I left with a true statement? Does 20 equal 20? Yes, it does. So therefore, I can circle my answer of x equals 7. Any questions? Okay, let's look at example 2. Example 2, we have 5 halves x plus 3 equals 23. What am I going to do first?
Subtract 3.
Good. Subtract 3. And if I do, oops, sorry, I'm going to get a different color. Go back to my blue. And if I subtract 3 from this side, I must subtract it from the other side of the equals. So now I'm left with 5 over 2x equals 20. Okay, here's where I have that fraction. And it's a fraction being multiplied. So if I want to undo multiplication, I need to use division. But how do I divide fractions? Someone in the classroom is going like this with their hands. Flip. And exactly. Reciprocal. Good. So we are going to now, to get rid of that 5 halves, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2 over 5. And again, if I do that to the left side, I must do it to the right side. On the left, the 2/5 and 5 halves will cancel, so we're just left with x. What should I do on the right side with that 20?
Put a 1 like.
Yep. Kate, what did you say, Kate? What are you going to say? Put a 1 over, yeah, just so that way everyone can hear because it's a little quiet. Great. Put a 1 over it, and now when we multiply, we just go right across. So 20 times 2 is 40, and 1 times 5 is 5. Is this how we want to leave our answer? No, we can reduce if we, right? We always check. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. So now we plug that in for our check. It's saying 5 over 2 times 8 plus 3 should equal 23. When I plug in that 8, I want to put it over 1 again. And now we go right across. 5 times 8 is 40. 2 times 1 is 2. And we keep simplifying. What's 40 divided by 2? 20. And 20 plus 3 is 23. Hooray. So x equals 8 does work. Before we move on, I want to show you guys an example of where checking does not work so that you know if like an answer was wrong. Let's pretend, so don't copy anything I'm about to do, but let's pretend here we said x equals 10. So just look at the orange. If I said x equals 10, in my check I would have 5 over 2 times 10 plus 3 equals 23. And I would simplify that. That would give me 50 over 2 plus 3 equals 23. That would then be giving me 25 plus 3 equals 23. And on that left-hand side, I would get 28 equals 23. Is that a true statement? No. So that's telling me, oh, you messed up. Go back now to your calculations and try to figure out where you went wrong. Okay? So I just want to show you that because in all of our checks, they've worked because we've done them right. But the whole point of a check is it will catch whether you had a mistake. Okay? So I'm going to erase that now, but just so that you're aware of how a check would work. Any questions so far? Okay, so again, if I am undoing addition, we use subtraction. If I'm undoing subtraction, we use addition. If I'm undoing multiplication, we're using division. To undo division, we use multiplication. Okay, I'm going to have us scroll down now to question 13. Okay, so scroll or flip your paper all the way to 13 right now. Go ahead. And we have a word problem here that hopefully are all going to be pros at by now. But let's read the scenario. It says, Sonia is planning a dinner party. She found a caterer that charges $12.50 per person plus a one-time cost of $150 for the rental hall. How much money will the dinner party cost if Sonia invites 30 people? So, what do you think we're going to have to do here to figure out for 30 people how much this is going to cost? I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds to think about it. You can start writing if you want to, and then let's share out. Okay, so $12.50 per person plus a one-time fee of $150. And complete question 13. Go ahead. Do we have anyone willing to share out?
So we're skipping that other part.
Yeah, we're going to come back to that later, but we have jumped all the way down to 13 right now. You do not have to do all the equations above it right now.
Okay.
Can someone help us with 13 or start us off a little bit? Jordan.
What is 1250 times 30? 175. And then for 150 times 30, about 10,000.
Okay, so you are on the right track to start off with. The first thing that Jordan said he did was he multiplied 1250 by 30. And I like that a lot because what does it say? It says 1250 per person, and there are 30 people. So we need to do 1250 times 30. However, then he said he multiplied the 150 by 30. Do we need to multiply 150 30 times? So whoever said no, why not?
Because it's a one-time fee.
And so Tim in here said because it's a one-time fee. Exactly. So the first part is fantastic. We multiplied 1250 times 30, 1250 per person, but now we're just going to add the one-time fee of $150. Does that make sense? No, it makes dollars. Ha ha ha. Get it? Okay, so now we will simplify that. Okay, so 1250 times 30 is 375. And then we add the 150. And that gives me 525. So again, we showed our work here. Now let's answer in a complete sentence. So the cost for 30 people is $525. Make sure we are writing in complete sentence, folks, so we understand what this problem means, right? When you just say 525, what does that mean? 525 apples? 525 people? No, it's saying the cost is $525. Okay? All right, you guys try 14 now that we did 13 together. Everybody try 14. Go for it. Would anybody like a calculator? You can use your calculator on your laptop too, but if anybody would like a calculator, let me know. Why don't you in the chat put an answer that you got, and we'll see if we have any common answers. All right, I see some common answers. Yes, good, Max. Awesome. I was just about to say you were on the right track, but exactly. Great catch. You figured out what you did. Fantastic, though. So for those of you that did calculate and got $775, that is correct. So let's go through that. Again, we're going to use the same sort of expression up above. It was $12.50 per person, so $12.50 times 50 people this time. And then we have that one-time fee that we don't want to forget about. Okay, and so $12.50 times 50 people gives me $625. And then we add that one-time fee, which gives you $7.75. So very good. And then now we'll write the complete sentence. The cost for 50 people is $775. Make sure we are writing all of this down. If you didn't write the complete sentence, make sure you're writing that now because you will be submitting this assignment. Any questions? Okay, once you have 13 and 14 done, try 15 and 16. So 15 is saying, write a complete sentence on how you found your answer. So do not just say, I multiplied 1250 times 50. No, tell us what those mean. Did you multiply the number of apples by people? No. So on 15 with words, explain what we did in 13 and 14. And then on 16, you're writing an expression where P is your variable. Okay? So a minute or two to get 15 and 16 done. Go for it. That's just for first lunch. All right. Does anyone want to share a sentence they had for 15? All right, I'll share it. But remember, you're going to have to do this on your own, on your homework and such. So check to see how yours came out. So what did we do? We multiplied the cost per person, right? So instead of saying $12.50, I'm using the words cost per person, okay? So I multiplied the cost per person by the number of people. Again, I'm not saying 50, I'm saying the number of people. I'm using words to represent what that number means. Once I did that, I then added the one-time fee. Okay, again, I did not say I added 150. I said I added the one-time fee. On your test last week, some of you guys did a fantastic job using the words, like I multiplied the number of hours by the wage. But some people just said I multiplied 5 times 7. No, we want to explain what those numbers mean, okay? All right, how about 16, an expression? Why don't we do the same thing? In the chat, type in an expression that you came up with. Go ahead. And some may look different from each other. It's possible to have different answers that are correct. So go ahead in the chat. What expression did you get for number 16? And no worries, Ashley, about your Wi-Fi. I know that happens. Thanks for just coming back in. All right, I'm seeing some good things. And the ones that say 1250 times P plus 150 is correct. It's great that every single person who typed in an answer, first off, thank you for participating. Okay, it does not go unnoticed. So very good. Everybody used the right variable of P. Good. Sometimes we just get in the habit of always using X and so forth, but because they said to use P, we want to use that. And everybody multiplied 1250 times P. That's correct because it's 1250 per person. But then just don't forget about that good old one-time fee. So we add 150. Now, just so everybody is aware, I'm going to put it in a different color. If you had something like this, would I mark you wrong? So look at the orange. Would orange be wrong?
No, isn't it like this the same thing?
Exactly. It is the same thing. Order of operations tells us still to multiply first, and then we would add. So that's why I was saying if someone had typed in a different thing into the chat, it could still possibly be right. So either one is correct, but the one way that you guys typed things in, I like that best because we multiply per person and then we add that one-time fee. But you wouldn't be wrong if you typed the orange in. Okay? Okay, now 17 says Sonia wants to spend a maximum of $1,400. Use your expression to now write an equation. So notice on 16, no equal signs, right? An expression does not have equal signs. 17 says now write an equation. So we are going to have an equal sign. Then solve the equation. So what we're going to have here is we knew that expression we came up with is 1250p plus 150. But this time around, we're looking for the number of guests, the number of people. So we're not going to plug anything in for p. We're going to leave it as is. But instead, we're going to make it equal to the total cost, which in this case, the total amount she can spend is $1,400. So we're going to make our expression equal to $1,400. Does that make sense? Now we're going to solve. So go ahead, take a minute and solve this. Okay, again, if you need a calculator, let me know, or you can use the one right on your computer. That's totally fine. So get P alone. Go ahead. All right. Can someone tell us what our first step will be?
Subtract 150.
Subtract. I heard you say subtract. Yes, that's very good. We're going to subtract that 150. So make sure you're doing that with us. The 150s will cancel on that left-hand side. So we're left with $12.50 times P equals 1,400 minus 150 is 1,250. 1,250. Now what operation? Victoria? Divide, exactly. This was multiplying, so to undo, we divide. And this is rather nice. That'll leave us with P and 1,250 divided by $12.50 gives us 100. Now we'll write that in a complete sentence like it says. So what does this 100 represent, guys? Does it represent dollars? 100 what? It says P equals 100. What did P stand for before? People, exactly. So that means that you can have 100 people to the party. Good work. Any questions? Okay, so in the rest of the packet, you have, actually, let's do one more together. I didn't realize, I thought this was a different one. Let's do one more. Let's do 18 together so that you understand this set of directions. I think most of you guys have done this before, but let's look at 18. 18 says, for the following, check to see if it's a solution, show your work, and then state whether it's a solution or not. So they're giving us an equation of 2x minus 3 equals 4, and it's saying check if 8 is a solution. So we're just going to do what with that 8? Substitute it in. So we're going to have 2 times 8 minus 3 equals 4. Okay, I'm substituting the 8 in for the variable. And we're going to simplify to see if we get a true statement. So 2 times 8 is 16. 16 minus 3 is 13. So did I just get a true statement? Does 13 equal 4? No. So what that means is we write not a solution. So I want to see your work support as well as then your answer. If we got a true statement, we would say solution. Any questions?